Hi crafters, this is Shirley Martin with Stampin' Up. I'm an independent Stampin' Up dealer who loves to share my paper making skills. Today I thought we would make this card. I'm going to show you a couple different ways of making it, and that'll be kind of a fun experiment to do. So first, we're using this stamp set, and it comes with this punch if you buy it in a bundle. Let me show you this beautiful suite. Here we go. Look at this gorgeous suite. So here's one page, and this price right here, the $65.50, this is for everything on the suite, everything you see. So here it is. Here's your possibilities, and the paper is just gorgeous. I love the whale paper. Let me show you some of that up close. I'll just thumb through it real quickly. And you get 4 of each kind. Isn't that beautiful? The colors are so vibrant. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but the colors are just gorgeous. And then they've got a design factor on the other side. Beautiful, beautiful paper. So what I've done in this particular card, I have stamped with the stamp set. And this is where I made my own background. Today, I cut some of the paper. You can see it's very much going to look pretty much the same. I have a little more green on this one. But the colors are vibrant, it's fun to do, it's easy to do. If you're a beginner stamper, this is a great summertime stamp set. Okay, so let's get started. I take the Night of Navy, and I have cut the Night of Navy long ways. So when you get your Night of Navy, it is an 8.5 by 11. And what I did was I cut it at 4 1/4, scored it at 5.5. And you get 2 out of one stack, or out of one page. I'm going to fold this, and I always make sure that these are lined up. I take my bone folder and I press. Just gives that nice crease. The other thing that I have done is I've taken the folder. Let me get you the embossing folder. This comes with the suite, and you can always buy everything separately. It's just you save 10% when you buy it in the bundle with the suite. And I line it up on the line. See that line going across there? That way I know it's straight. But if there's a particular, like maybe you want more of this fern looking, you can scoot it over. You don't have to keep it right there. You can say, well, I want it here, but I'm still going to keep it on that line because it helps me with being straight. And you always want to put it in with Stampin' Up side up, not this way. Right? And this is a thick folder. We do have thin folders. This particular one happens to be very thick. So you're going to have to play with what you can get. There is a new Sizzix coming out. Mine's in the mail, going to be shipped to me any moment now. I should be getting it, but I don't have it today. So all I have is the old one. So I've already run this through my Sizzix machine, and this is what comes up. Isn't that just gorgeous? Isn't that fun? I love that. Now I will say, because it's so beveled on the back, what I would suggest you use is tear and tape. Now tear and tape is a or you could use the new Stampin' Up has a new tape that bonds more. And if it goes a little bit over, you just fold it. Just fold it back when you go to put it on. I like doing right up to the edge, because I will say that with these heavy-duty embossing folders, what happens is they tend to want to lift up, especially on the edge. So that's why I use the heavy-duty tape. Not everybody does. And you can see on this one, I didn't. See that? See how it kind of wants to lift up? Yep. So that's why I'm doing this. It still stays on. It still looks good. It's still fine. I'd still send it to one of my good friends. You know, that's the real test, is would you send it to one of your good friends? You can send it to friends you don't see very often because they don't see you and they don't have to tell you things. Your good friends, they're going to tell you. What was with that card that messed up? So you see, you gotta figure things out as you go along. Okay, taking all the tape off. And I use this because I need my nails done, but my nails are fat because I have really crummy nails and I have to get my nails done so I look pretty. It's pretty nice. Okay, there we go. Making sure that I have it all the way around before there. Now, lots of times I build my card before I put it on the blue, but with these they really kind of have to stick down. So that's an important thing to do. Okay, now we're going to take when you get your paper, they're 6 by 6s. So what I've done is I've cut it in half by 3. So I'll get 2, and then what I do is I cut it by 4 inches. So 3 by 4, and then I took the Night of Navy. This is our Stampin' Up cutter, and it's got a score, which is the lighter one, and a cutter, and it cuts both ways. So what I do is when I cut, so I'm using my blade often, I go one this way, one this way. So that way it stays sharper. Okay, so now I've got 2. I can choose which one I want to use. And then this, I cut 1/4 inch. So this is 3 by 4, this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I'll have all the measurements on my link down below. There you go. See? Okay. We're going to put this on. Now I have some of the old snails still left, so I'm going to be using that. But we have a new snail that's come out. Oh, this one's gone. And I'm going to layer this on. And doing a 3 by 4 card is kind of nice because it's not as scary as trying to figure out how do I fill this entire space. See, I have filled this entire space, but I've done it in a smaller increment and then layered. And that makes it nice. Now we have our whale. I'll show you. I've done a couple of whales. This whale I stamped, and then I stamped it in basic gray. And then I colored in the eye because I don't like a gray eye. They don't have gray eyes. So that's what I did with this guy. And I can put him here, or we can build one. Now because we have this really cool punch, it's got all the different parts. And what I've done is cut it all out. And it punches very nicely. I've used the basic gray, and you can see I punched out the entire thing. Then I punched out in white, and here's the water spout, and then his little flipper. And then the eye I did in black. Now you can draw your eye on if you want to, but I chose to punch it out. I have a tool that I think is absolutely wonderful to use when you're trying to do little tiny parts, and it's a reverse tweezer, and I forgot what they're called, but there's a special name for it. this is going to go on here like this. So what I'm going to, and you can see here, I'll put him like that. So I have my glue, and I like to use glue because in putting together parts, you know it'll stay, and you have fudge time. Fudge time is really important when you're putting together parts. I'm going to put it right about here. And I don't know how their little fins go. I decided that the pointy part goes up. And I tried to make it a little bit in front of the back fin. And that way, it looks like he's swimming. If you put it on top of that fin, it would look, I think, funny. So that's what I did. But, I don't know, it could go this way. It can go this way. I think it goes this way. You do what you think. You researched it. I looked. Whoops. Okay, so I got glue where I don't want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on. I'll show you how to fix that. Because you don't want glue all over your card like that, what you do is you take your embossing buddy. We'll have to go through that sometime too. And you just put that on there, and now it won't get sticky. It's a great little tool. Okay, and now we're going to put his eye on. And I think when I looked at papers, his eye, or pictures, his eye was right about, oops, got a lot. So when you get a lot of glue, you can let it sit for a bit, because this glue will become tacky and clear. It's one of the best glues in the world. It's our multi-purpose Tombow glue. The other thing I use religiously, sorry, might get my hand in here, is our Take a Pick tool. Oh, squirt it out. And you just stick that on there, and there you go. Now the glue will dry clear, so you will not see that. Okay, he's getting done. Next, I have the little water spouts, and what I do is I use my pool party, and I have a dauber, and what I do is I take my dauber, and again, this is where this little tiny tool that comes in really, really handy. You daub it, and I always check. I want to know how dark it is, and then I just lightly go across, lightly make the water. You can also put it down on your paper if you want to get in there in that little spot. You see how I'm getting in there? Oops. Did I bump that camera? Little delicate thing, but that's okay, right? He's got to spout water. There it is. Can you see that little tiny spout of water? Okay. Let me. Now, we're fixing to just put it all together. So here's my page, here's my whale, and I'm going to take dimensionals. Dimensionals give you all kinds of dimension. So I'm going to use these to pop him up. And because they're little, I'm going to put probably more on than what I need to, but you want to make sure you don't see it, which is nice because the little ones allow you to do that. Okay, here goes my whale. Let's see. I'm going to put him like he's swimming up to the surface. I'm going to blow his top. See that little speck right there? I don't know if you can see that. See that little speck? I don't like it. So we have this eraser. They'll just take it off. Isn't that cool? Yep. We got cool stuff. Okay. When they're too big, you just take your paper snips and snip them in half. There we go. I just need a dinky little piece, right? There we go. The other thing you can do is, see this little place there's no dots? I just cut a nice tall long line and then I snip off what I want. Makes it very nice to use. Tiny little things. That's okay. I'm out of the camera. That water keeps flying away on me. There we go. And this particular one can go up above because it's going to go on a card. But you want to be careful you don't stick them up here and then if you go to mail them, it doesn't work. The other thing I have already stamped, because you don't need to see me stamp this, is my love for you is bigger than the ocean. Here's the stamp. And I wanted to show you all kinds of things, but I think I'll do it on another video. We have bigger dimensionals too. Makes it nice. If you hear noises in the background at my house, I live in a zoo. I live with 5 girls. Can you believe that? 2 dogs and 1 bird. 2 frogs. E-I-E-I-O. So you might hear all kinds of things. Our dogs don't bark, but they do things like sniff really loud, and sometimes they scratch, sometimes they get in the way of me trying to video. They come between me and every cord that I have going to my video. So if you see things going off and all of a sudden we lose you, it's okay. I'll refilm it. or I'll leave some of it in there because it's just funny to watch things like that, I think. You know, stamping can't be dry. It just gives us one more thing to pray about. Okay, I'm using this tape again because it's bumpy. And that bumpy stuff doesn't like to always stick. Oops, got a little crooked. Won't matter. It really won't matter because, see? There we go. Take my pick tool. Say that 5 times. And I liked the punch whale. I think he's cute too, but he would be somebody that I would use if I was doing all stamping. Okay, Make sure your card opens the right way when you put this together, because that would just be sad. I could fix it. I used to teach a class. That was, there are no mistakes, only embellishments. Okay, so there's that. On the inside, I always like to stamp a little something. So on the inside, I want to show you something that I have. I keep it all the time. I keep it ready to go. And it is just a bunch of 3 3 3/4 by 5 cards. And I like that because this one might be bigger. I also have another box that's 4 by 5 1/4. I'm sorry. I'm really distracted. The UPS man is here, and I think I got my new Big Shot. I'm so excited. Okay, so here I also have a big one. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And I just keep a bunch of them. When I get a stack of paper, I just cut them all, so I have it ready to go. And there is our first card. See how much better it is when you use the tape? See how it's not flopping up there? See? All stuck down in comparison. Thank you.